Gaffer, the old saying is you learn more from a defeat than you do from a victory. What would you say you learned from Saturday?
No, I think a similar story to a couple of the games we've had, where we haven't, in my opinion at least, picked up the points that we deserved. We watched that back and still find it hard to believe that we lost the game. But ultimately that's what that was. What happened. I'd rather not learn more in defeat. I'm not sure I'm learning sort of too much in terms of, I think, getting to know the group pretty well now and how we're performing, but certainly moments are hurting us. I think we're being punished sometimes unduly as well, like the first goal. Like I said, it's some good bit of play from him in one regard, but then certainly fortune in terms of that sort of flying into the net. But we've got to try and, I guess, make things happen, cope with certain situations, but both boxes is a big thing. I was really pleased with how we went about the game for the large part, and for whatever it's worth, watching Crawley, they've been very impressive. We genuinely did better against them than what I've seen other teams, with the exception of maybe who we're going to play at the weekend. So there's still a lot of good things. But I accept people want to win, they want the points, as we do, because I think we should be further up that table, but at the minute, we're not. We've got to try and change that.
And you've said about playing those sides that are in sort of top 7, top 8. How much is it about sort of managing expectations? And look, we've competed with some of them and just we're narrowly missing out on results. Is that something that comes into your thought, like managing expectations and not getting too low with the lows and too high with the highs?
A little bit. I've said to the players this week, for whatever reason, Saturday night, Sunday morning is probably as low as I've felt for a little while. Nothing wrong with that. It tells me that there's still very much care and want to improve. So that's life, but that's got to be then shaken off and concentrate on what you can try and influence moving forward. I think we've competed in all the games, and that's always, even the Wrexham, that a 3-0 scoreline might suggest sort of slightly otherwise, but I think anyone that's there or who watched it, we did. And again, you speak to people that are in football and they're backing up a lot of what I'm seeing, but it is a results industry, we know that. But I take a lot of heart from what I see, where I see some of the teams are that we've faced. I think said right from the off, thought it would be a difficult start in terms of the teams we're up against, and it's. I think the league table's starting to take shape to a degree. That suggests that, but that doesn't mean that the other teams that we're going to face, it's going to be easy. But I think over a period of time you'll see a change. I certainly believe that. But until that happens, that's just words. So we'll see.
And looking ahead to Swindon now, we've had a full week of training again. How's the squad looking? What we're looking at, injuries and stuff like that?
Yeah, we're going to have a few out. A few we obviously know that are the longer term lads. Like the likes of Evan Corey's still out injured. Niall will still be missing. Callum Ainley's one that we lost last week, and that's unfortunately quite a significant calf injury that will keep him out for certainly weeks, and I would say maybe a couple of months from what I've been told. So that's a disappointment after him just sort of getting going. Felt it in the game. I know he wasn't on for sort of loads of time, but while he was out there he sprinted, he felt something, he got through the game, but afterwards was sore and the scan wasn't good reading. So that's another one that we miss. We're missing Cam through suspension. So the squad is starting to get stretched and tested at this moment in time. No real surprise, as in, again, being in this long enough, you know that that's going to happen at some point. It's probably happened a bit sooner than we would have liked. But it goes back to, we wanted a smaller squad, kind of maybe a player over what we thought, but I think it just shows you need options available to you. So Other than that, we've had a couple of lads as well that haven't been able to train until today. But we'll have a team and we'll have a bench ready to impact in what will be a difficult game.
And like you've said before, it's a squad game. There's a couple of players coming back into training and whatnot as well. It's an opportunity for other players.
Yeah, of course it is. And you get they probably get bored of hearing it. I get bored of saying it, but it's genuine all the time. We've trained today and we've swapped some players around and things. Some have impressed more than others. That's the reality of it. And in the end, that might just influence the decision I make. When more people are fit as well, as we've seen in recent weeks, some lads have missed out of being in the match day squad even, which is tough because sometimes they maybe haven't done enough to be on there, and other times it's maybe is positionally why they miss out. But you've got to be on your game all the time, and sometimes that is the training pitch as well. I like to have that sort of intent and message to them, and when you can follow that through, then that's great. Sometimes you have to maybe involve certain players that might not have trained as well as you would like, but to get the best team out there, sometimes that's what you have to do.
And looking at Swindon, as with the league, it's never an easy game, the next one. They're one of the 2 unbeaten sides in the league. What do you sort of expect from them this Saturday?
As we said, a tough challenge. They've played quite expansively in terms of the positions that they take up on the pitch. Got, I think, leading goal scorer in the league, which everyone would then quickly jump to Charlie Austin. It's not the case this time. Dan Kent has been a big influence for him in a lot of the goals, whether it's him scoring, assists, and we know full well about him, unfortunately, from how well he did for Hartlepool against us. So they certainly carry attacking threat. I think they are the leading goal scorers in the division. So yeah, it's not like things are getting much easier. But at the same time, it'll be a good crowding. Back to that, another game that we've got to embrace and enjoy, but enjoy that competing in it, and still feel in all the games we've played, we've carried threats ourselves, and we've done well in most of the games. The performance levels in the main I've been really pleased with, and that's quite rare to have almost that consistency. That's where, for me, the correlation between that and the points doesn't quite match up. But over a longer period of time, you would expect that to be the case. So if we can tighten up on 1 or 2 things, be a little bit more clinical, I still believe we're not too far away.